So, I mean, I thought it was hilarious. This show. I mean, of an educational too. I didn't know Dick was a vegan. What would you both think that the real Dick Turpin would have made of this show?
I wonder if he'd have watched it.
Well, he would have sued, wouldn't he?
Maybe.
Because to have a vegan, pacifist, inclusive villain like Dick Turpin, I think he really wouldn't have liked that at all.
He wouldn't have liked it. He would have hated it. Yeah, but you know what? What was quite interesting about Dick Turpin is everyone knew who Dick Turpin was, but well, it's going globally. It's sort of going in lots of different countries, so I'm not sure all the other countries do. But in England, everyone knows Dick Turpin, but they don't know much about him other than he robbed stagecoaches and he was hacked at time, and that's about as much as they. And when you look him up, I think he rode a horse to York, which seems
Quite a long way.
It is a long way, isn't it?
We wanted to visit the Minster, and the trains weren't running.
It seems quite.
I don't think he would have sued. He would have been happy with the hair. How do you keep that hair so silky smooth?
I don't know. It looks like a wig, doesn't it? I'll just take it off. I really don't know. I've been dyeing it for so long. I have no idea what colour it is anymore, or it feels like fabric now. I don't question it.
But we do seem to have a kind of fascination for this period in British history. It creates it's comedies, dramas, kind of, there's something about this kind of area. What do you think it is that just keeps us so engaged?
I don't know. My mind's just gone straight to the Henry Fielding novel, Tom Jones, and that great movie. And there's something about that sort of roister-doistering atmosphere of the tavern and the highwaymen and the inns at night and the skullduggery down dark corners and all the rest of it.
It's so colourful.
It is,
history, I think we're quite proud of it, aren't we? That we've got such a sort of amazingly rich history that we love to delve into it, don't we? And play around with it. Horrible Histories actually is such an amazing, show, because they really go all over the shop, don't they, with the history, and they do lots of little twists and turns. So I don't know. We were thinking, actually, someone reminded me that there was a Carry On Dick Turpin, which I haven't seen, which feels.
They would have got a lot of
mileage.
A lot of mileage out of that name. My God.
Little Dick goes a long way.
I must check that out now. I didn't really understand the Carry On films when I was a kid, but now I appreciate the brilliant performances and the amazing cast. Kenneth Williams is a genius.
And if you guys were alive back then, what do you think where would you fit into the society? You get sort of the outlaws and the peasants, and you have those weird sort of people with warts that would come up to you on the street. There's so many different types. But what do you think? How do you think you'd be best served in those days?
I'd probably be a bloke in the corner of the tavern with a long clay pipe. Did they have long clay pipes then? Yeah, I think just quietly nursing a pint with a dog that may or may not be dead. I'd be quite happy. They're trying to keep out of trouble, trying to keep out of people's eye lines.
I feel like I'd be like Dick. I wouldn't really be a dandy, but I'd be dressing up like one all the time, getting myself into trouble.
We're talking of dressing up. I mean, I just wondered, when you make something like this, because you're on a kind of set, because I've been on a few sets before, when there's something so kind of great about walking onto something like this and everyone's dressed up and everything, does it kind of tap into what made you kind of want to get into entertainment in the first place? Because when we were kids, we were all playing kind of, cops and robbers and stuff, hiding behind doors. And does it tap into that kind of quite playful energy?
Absolutely.
Definitely. I can remember when we were filming at Somerset House, and down at the sort of below street level, there were all these sort of corridors and passageways. And it was all strewn with linen and baskets and kids selling toffee apples and wenches in doorways, and and you were completely immersed into the world of the dressing up box. It was really good.
And weirdly, there was a Dick Turpin that was on telly in the 70s or early 80s with Richard O'Sullivan, and I used to watch that as a kid. It was Saturday evenings, I think, and then we would play it. I think we'd go outdoors and pretend to be Dick Turpin. So. Yeah, crazy that we ended up.
So do you think this career keeps you young in some ways? Because you're still outdoors pretending to be Dick Turpin.
It's not a real job. No, it's not pretending to be people.
Dressing up tights, or dresses if you're lucky. Yeah,
very lucky.
Did you keep? No, not saying to say from this, but did you obviously when you have great costumes and things? Did you ever try to take souvenirs for anything you do?
Absolutely.
What was this series souvenir?
You know what's hilarious? I took my frilly black shirt home, silky frilly black shirt, and someone put it in the washing machine.
Oh, you've still got Paddington. Just
came out about this big.
No, I did liberate a pair of because cricket trousers these days are a sort of flammable material that sort of melt onto your skin. And I was playing village cricket a few years ago, or not even that, just 2 games a year, and the linen, the flannels that were made in Downton Abbey were really lovely old proper wool trousers. Wow. And so I liberated those at the end of the season because there's not going to be another cricket scene. And about a week later I got a phone call from the costume designer saying, do you know what happened to those cricket trousers, because we've got an exhibition at Lord's coming up. I went, I think I might have, oh dear, yes. Jim Carter had done the same. Had to give them back.
I know they're both you turning up and being like, here's the food.
There was a punk jacket in the Mighty Boosh that I tried to liberate, but it was hired, and it was
you must have something
from 1976 or something. It was absolutely the greatest jacket of all time. But I got to wear it on screen. So
exactly.
I tell people I've still got it.
Yeah, immortalised forever. Well, thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated. Best of luck
Thank
with
you.
the show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey You Guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey You Guys!
Hey!